Hi guys, welcome to the realm of astrology. This is your weekend horoscope for the weekend of 28th to 29th August 2021. But before we begin, I would like to let you know that I also do weekly video horoscopes and monthly sun rising sign video horoscopes that you can watch on my YouTube channel. And I request you to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you can be notified every time I post a video. So we'll start with Saturday and then we'll move on to Sunday. So the first thing on Saturday happens at about 2 a.m. Pacific time, and I spoke about this very briefly yesterday. And it's that the moon in Taurus has conjuncted Uranus in Taurus. Now Uranus is a very sudden, unexpected, unpredictable energy, and the moon is our emotions. So this is an unpredictable moment for our emotions. It could be a sudden change to our emotions, but whatever this is, whether it's positive or stressful, it will push us one more step towards our unique, authentic self. So that's the first thing. And this is 2 a.m. Pacific time, so about 2 p.m. Indian Standard Time, Saturday afternoon. And if you are on the eastern part of the world, the Indian time will resonate more with you. Alternatively, you can always convert the Pacific time to your time zone to know exactly when the energy is at its peak. Okay, and the next important thing happens at 11 a.m. Pacific time, and here the moon at 18 degrees of Taurus is trining Mars, 120-degree angle, and this is 11 a.m. Pacific time, which makes it about 11 p.m. Indian Standard Time. And the moon is our emotions, right? And Mars is a planet of taking action, of initiative, of drive, of willpower, of courage. All that is Mars. Mars is the warrior. So Mars can also get very angry and frustrated. But in a trine, this is a moment where we can find emotional courage. We can feel that we're ready to take action. We can find that willpower within us at this moment. So this is a positive alignment. And I don't think, although Mars can get angry and frustrated, I don't think that's the energy, because the alignment is positive. It's more like finding the willpower, finding the courage, finding the drive to take action and move forward. Yeah. And then in the evening on Saturday, we have another aspect. And what's happening here is that the moon at 22 degrees of Taurus is sextiling Neptune. Now, Neptune is the planet of the higher realms. It's the planet of spirituality and creativity. It's also the planet of confusion, and one can feel very. Neptune is also the planet of feeling low and, getting a little feeling low. But in this alignment, a sextile, a 60-degree angle, which is positive, I don't think it's the negative manifestation of Neptune. What I'm trying to say is that I don't think this is a moment where we will feel confused or low or depressed. I think this is a moment where we will feel like, okay, I'm feeling a little spiritual, or we might feel creative. We might have a lot of creative energy at this point. So I think that's the energy, and this energy is great for creative things like writing and poetry and music and all that sort of stuff. Or it could just be a feeling, just feeling very connected to the higher realms, or feeling that emotionally I'm in sync with the greater good, I'm in sync with the higher good, that kind of vibration. That's another positive alignment. And at night, okay, so this is at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 6 a.m. India time, Sunday morning. And soon after this, we have another positive alignment at 10 p.m. And what's happening here is that the moon in Taurus is trining Pluto retrograde. Now, Pluto is the planet of transformation, of healing, of catharsis, of endings, beginnings, and the moon is our emotions. But this aspect is positive. So this is a transformation, a healing, a catharsis to our emotions that comes about quite naturally and organically. And it is connected very much to the material world. This could be connected to the skills that we are learning, our finances, our projects, our self-worth, our values. This change, because the moon is in the sign of Taurus. And Taurus is the sign that rules our values, our self-worth, our skills, our finances, right? So the change could very well be connected to these things, the emotional change. And Pluto is retrograde, which means that this change, maybe we've tried to make it before or we've thought about it before, but whatever it is, it has its roots in the past because Pluto is retrograde. Actually, all the outer planets are retrograde right now. So a lot of the energy that we are going through, especially when the moon makes its aspects with the outer planets like Uranus or Neptune, or Saturn or Jupiter or Pluto, it's connected to the past. It's connected to the recent past. And the goal is to review that. The goal is to approach that from a different perspective and accordingly make the changes. So that's Saturday. Saturday overall is a very positive day. We have the moon trining Mars, we have the moon sextiling Neptune, and the moon trining Pluto, all positive aspects. The only thing that might feel a little stressful is the moon Uranus conjunction, but that's at 2 a.m. Pacific time, so it might feel stressful. It's not necessary. But overall speaking, Saturday is a positive day. It's a positive energy. Things seem to happen organically and naturally on Saturday. And then moving on to Sunday, the first important thing happens at 2 a.m. Pacific time, which makes it 2 p.m. Indian Standard Time, Sunday afternoon. And what's happening here is that the moon in Taurus is squaring Jupiter retrograde. And Jupiter is the planet of optimism and hope and gifts and blessings. And a square is a challenging aspect, right? It brings about change, it brings about friction. So at this point, we might need to adjust our emotions, the moon, so that we can feel hopeful and optimistic again. And this could very well be connected to the life that we have been building since December of 2020, because Jupiter is in Aquarius. And this is also connected to the recent past. We've seen glimpses of this energy before because Jupiter here is retrograde. And the next important thing happens at 8 a.m. Pacific time, which makes it 8 p.m. India time. And what's happening here is that the moon is going to trine Mercury. Now, Mercury is the planet of our mind, logical mind, thinking, communication, our immediate environment, health, job, routine, day-to-day structure. All these things are Mercury, and the moon is our emotions, right? So at this point, we are probably feeling good about Mercury things. We're probably feeling good about maybe communicating something, or maybe our thoughts and our emotions are in sync, or we made changes to Mercury because Mercury did trine Pluto this week. So we did transform all Mercury things, whether that was our routine or diet or lifestyle or thinking. It did undergo a transformation now, probably, maybe, or actually maybe we are feeling good about those changes. So it's that energy where mentally and emotionally we feel in sync, or we start to feel good about our routine, our health, our job, our diet, exercise, immediate environment, all these things. And this is 8 a.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. India time, Sunday. And the next thing happens at 10 a.m. Right? And what's happening here is that the moon has changed signs. Now, the moon changes signs every 2.5 days, and when it does, the energy in our life, the focus in our life shifts in subtle ways. The moon in Taurus, which it is until 10 a.m. Sunday morning, is a more stable, grounded, slow energy. It's about indulging, it's about being with nature and enjoying some good food. But the moon in Gemini, which it will be for the next 2.5 days, starting Sunday, 10 a.m., is a very stimulated energy. It's a lot of energy, right? Gemini is a lot of energy. It's about thinking, it's about communication, it's about it's an intellectual energy, but it's a lot of energy. You know, it's a little bit of this, it's a little bit of that. I want to learn this, I want to learn that, I want to do this, I want to do that as well. So Gemini is it's a lot of energy, and it can be a very restless, overstimulating energy. And we also have the North Node in Gemini, and the North Node is a magnifier, right? So it's already magnifying the Gemini energy, which is about doing a lot of things and being very stimulated. So the moon with the North Node in Gemini can bring about a lot of stimulation, a lot of energy. So that's what happens at 10 a.m. And at the same time, not at the same time, sorry. Now, the next aspect happens in the evening. And what's happening here is that the moon is going to conjunct the North Node. So let's see that. So this is 10 10 p.m. Pacific time, which makes 10 a.m. India time, Monday morning, the moon has conjuncted the North Node. And this is exactly what I was speaking about, that the North Node is an energizer. It energizes any planet that comes in contact with it, and in this case, our emotions. Right? So we can feel very emotionally charged up at this point, but it is also magnifying Gemini energy, right? And Gemini is all about thinking, it's about learning, it's a lot of energy. It's an energy that wants to do multiple things at once. It wants to talk about multiple things at once. So that's the vibe. And if it's getting too stimulating, I would recommend just calming the mind and taking a few moments and just going within and, taking a break for a moment, taking a break and withdrawing from the stimulation of all that you want to do and want to learn and want to talk about. Just go within for a moment, collect yourself, and then come back again, because the North Node moon in Gemini can be a lot of energy, right? And at the same time, we have Mercury here a little after, but about the same time, Mercury is going to enter the sign of Libra, right? So the Mercury has changed signs, and Mercury is our thinking. It's how we approach things with a logical perspective. It's our logic, it's our thinking, it's our communication. And Mercury has been in the sign of Virgo, and now it's changed to the sign of Libra. And Mercury in Virgo was all about thinking about organizing ourselves, communicating about organizing ourselves, getting organized and planned and making things perfect, right? That was Mercury in Virgo. But now Mercury is in the sign of Libra, and we are going to try to find balance to all Mercury things. Now, this could be a mental balance that we try to find with our thinking. This could be a balance in communication that we try to find, or a balance in our day-to-day routine. Okay, I've organized last month, Mercury and Virgo. I've organized, I've planned things, I've adjusted things, I've made things perfect, all Virgo. And now, how do I balance those things out, right? Because Libra is the scales, it's all about balance. So Mercury in Libra will be about finding balance to our health, job, routine, exercise, diet, a balanced approach, finding that. And when it comes to communication, when Mercury is in Virgo, it can be a very analytical sort of thinking and a very critical sort of communication, right? Because Virgo is a very analytical, critical sign. But in Libra, the communication tends to be more diplomatic. It tends to be diplomatic. Both sides are thought of before speaking. So that's another change that we will see. And that's pretty much it. But we are also going to get into the last quarter square of the moon. Now, this is a point where the sun and the moon make their last 90-degree angle before the next new moon, which will be on September 6th. So up until September 6th, starting now, Sunday into Monday, we will go through the last quarter square, and that is an energy that asks us to release and let go. And it's asking us to release and let go of the new beginning that we had on August 8th with the new moon in Leo. So we all began something then, and now we are assessing what about that beginning can I take with me to the next month. So this week is a process of releasing, letting go, and all this is subtle and subconscious. And 2 to 3 days before the new moon, we will go through the balsamic phase of the moon, which can feel a little tiring, because that's when the release process really happens. So we can feel physically tired. So I just thought I'd mention that. And another thing we are going to see is that Mars here at 19 degrees of Virgo is getting ready to oppose Neptune, 180-degree angle. That's another thing we're building up to. And that's all I'm going to say. And to sum it up, I would say Saturday, barring the Moon Uranus conjunction, which happens at 2 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. India time. Barring that, the entire energy is positive, right? And on Sunday, I would say again at 2 a.m. with the Moon Jupiter square, it can feel a little challenging. But apart from that, it is positive. It is positive. Not as easy as Saturday, but it's not very stressful. So that's all I'm going to say. Usually I do give the big picture of 2021, but since this is the weekend, I like to keep it as short as possible. So if you want to know the big picture of 2021, that's in my yesterday's video, or I will definitely do that on Monday, so you can watch that. And now I will pick a card for the weekend. We have 2 cards that fell out, so let's go with that, right? It says new life and it says blessed. So I think again, this is a reminder that we have started a new life. It may not be fully here, it may not be fully built. We are building it in 2021, but it's here. So this is a reminder that we are in a new astrological cycle, 2 new astrological cycles actually, and a new life is here. And we are blessed. We are blessed. One way to view this card is that we are blessed. The other way to view this card is that look at all the blessings we have, right? Sometimes we feel low and we feel hurt and angry and depressed because we feel like, why is this happening to me? Why am I going through these things? But if you look at all the blessings that we have, that feeling goes away. So I think this is a reminder that we are blessed and to count our blessings as well. And yes, our new life is here. We will build it for the next 2 years, but it is here. So that's all I'm going to say for the weekend. I will see you for my Monday horoscope and for the weekly horoscope now. Bye.